discussion about the balance in this game and like in broad strokes and like talking over like certain things where it's like certain characters are just given too much, certain gameplay design. Like I didn't touch on everything. Obviously, I didn't talk about like Psylocke. I didn't touch about like how it's dumb that like they turned her into an ult bot and then nerfed her ult. It's like there's just certain things which I didn't discuss, but I'm gonna cover more of that here. Probably add to a video.
I don't want to hit you more than I have to.
All right. So the reason, all right. So the reason I titled the video "Make BP Great Again" is for an obvious reason. I think it's time we can buff BP, right? But I do want to talk on like that Psylocke stuff and some of the other stuff. So we'll cover that really quickly. I think it's really dumb that you create a character whose gameplay design is assassin, right? That's her lore. She's an assassin. And since she's an assassin, she has like a high damaging burst combo, right? Right, high damaging burst combo and good movement to get in and out and invisibility. Right? They nerfed her invisibility, which is like her neutral was the whole point of the character, where she's just like an assassin. She just bothers the back line, and then when she gets her ult, she pops it on like a select few of people. Like her whole thing is she's here to assassinate set targets. She's here to assassinate certain targets, right? Often healers, maybe a DPS. Oh, there's a Phoenix who's causing trouble. I'm just gonna go bother her, right? And this ult is meant to the discussion I had in the previous video. I'm probably gonna mash them both together now that I think about it. The discussion I had in the previous video was the character design of the base cast.
Here they come now.
Has 100 points, like a nin chart. Like you just gotta allocate your points, and then the new characters are just given objectively, blatantly good tools with no downsides. Like the example I used is Hulk's bubble is very strong because you can protect the entire team from an instance of damage all at once, but you have to be mad close. Or the fact that his stun counts people as not existing on the point and no one can interact with them, so they can't be healed. So you can control, you can peel from long distance and control by both stunning the divers or stunning one of the multiple divers, bubbling your team, or stunning a healer and attacking the other one. It allows you for such skill expression in the game, right? The reason I brought it up is because I think Hulk is like the perfect character as far as like every character should feel like Hulk in a sense, like as far as skill expression goes. At least the characters I like. So like Hulk and Spider-Man are like the perfect skill expression characters in our category, and I think Loki is the perfect skill expression character in the healer category. Where if you're doing your job correctly, even though it's hard, it's very rewarding. Then you take a character like Psylocke, right? And you go, no, we don't want you in their back lines being invisible because you have an instant, like, faster than BP, like, death combo.
Sayonara. Mind over matter.
Double KO!
Hi.
That's 3! Wow,
I actually
four in a
don't have the
row.
muscle memory for the death combo. Jesus Christ. It's like super fast. It's like
You're mine.
That's amazing!
Did that hurt? Good.
6 in a row!
something like that, right? It's insanely fast. It's like insanely fast, right?
How sad.
So like they put her invisibility because she was like obviously prominent. Because if you could do this, they just fucking die, right?
You lose, demon.
And you have an ult that's pretty good, where like you cannot be interacted with, right? So it's just objectively good that you can cancel and leave. So you can, so if you're in danger, you can like pop this, go over here, cancel an early dash. So to take an assassin-based character and nerf their invisibility, it's like, dog, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are you nerfing the invisibility of the assassin? That's the whole point. Maybe the damage, right? Maybe make her cooldowns for her dashes longer, so when she goes in,
enemy has
she's
arrived.
risking it. She's like when she goes in with her dashes, right? So the way it works is that like the direct change isn't like the direct change, right? If you nerf the cooldown of her dashes, that would mean it takes longer to get back. It doesn't mean that like, oh, it means that when she's like in and she dashes in, that it takes longer for it to come back for her to get out, which is what it directly means. But the change is it would lessen the time that Psylocke is diving. So it would the amount of time Psylocke is like actually full diving, like actually behind you, would be less, in a sense almost, because she wouldn't be able to full engage you at her optimal range, which would be right here. She would be farther out because she's waiting for her dash to come back, which is her safety net. Because every diver just essentially waits for their safety net, which would be their exit ability, to be off cooldown so they could go in. So by lessening the cooldown of the dash, you essentially make it that she doesn't go in as often. And this damage, like here, isn't as high or as like damaging
Mind over matter.
as if like, you know, she was in your face doing her full burst combo, and which she would just leave. So Psylocke had to wait for her cooldowns to come back to dive. And when she isn't doing that, she's just shooting fucking tanks. I am of the personal belief that shifting Psylocke from neutral to ult based was fucking terrible. Making it that Psylocke wants to farm her ult off of tanks
The enemy has arrived.
and then go ult the backline was already like bad enough, right? Because triple support's it's been a big deal since the beginning of the game. Triple support has always been strong and they only make it stronger. When two healers can heal through Psylocke ults, it makes you question, who the fuck do I ult then? Right? It actually does make you question, who the fuck do I ult? So now you have to wait for certain cooldowns to be gone in order to ult both the healers. And you have to burst down one of them into the ult. So fair, whatever. It's workaroundable. Understandable. I'm cool with that. Fine. Having the balance be that the more people that are in the ults, the less likely anyone is to die, is nice. It forces your team to have to play in a certain way to counter your character,
Here they come
which
now.
influences games and make it interesting. Oh, they're facing a Psylocke, let's play like this. They're playing a Venom, let's play like this. Blah blah blah. Right? That's interesting. That's just how the game should work. What I don't like is the fact that they buffed her ult damage to try to like push her towards the edge of like, hey, see, you're a good character. When all they had to fucking do was improve her neutral by giving back her invisibility and leave her the fuck alone. Because she was already in a good spot. She was already fine. Sure, triple healer is strong and makes it hard to do anything, but it's all fucking divers. That's all divers. That's all characters. Everyone suffers when triple healers are... When healers run the game becomes fucking boring. Because no one gets to complete their objective except for the healers. I mean, like, let's be right. Let's just be 100. The healer objective is to just hold down the fucking trigger and look at people. And everyone actually is trying to do things. Everyone else actually has a goal they're trying to complete. So triple healer, essentially 3 people trying to do nothing but stare at you. Assembly. They're not trying to get kills. They're not trying to, like, destabilize the back line. They're not trying to, like, create off angles. So when you make a character like Psylocke, who is universally considered a good pick, and then you force her into, like, the ult bot territory, and then you go, no, we're gonna reduce the damage of your of your ult. Because remember, they increased the ult charge. They increased the damage of the ult for no fucking reason. And then they increased the ult charge it took to get the ult for no fucking reason. And then they reduced the damage on the ult in this last patch. And it's just like, dog, what's the point? And they were like, oh, we made your fall off better. No one fucking cares.
The enemy has
Why would I
arrived.
ever care about fall off? I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in a range where fall off doesn't fucking exist.
You're
And if
mine.
I'm not in that range, I'm purely just trying to bother people. So you change the fall off. She's an old bot, whatever. Bad character design. Buffing her damage so she could potentially kill more people when there's more people grouped together. Bad game design. Bad game design. 100%. It should be we're sticking together fully, and she cannot ult more than 2 people because she won't get any kills. Fully.
Step
Like
aside.
that's full stop. Full stop. If there's 3 people in my ult, I should not get kills. Right? If there's 2, I should get kills. Right? If there's 1, guaranteed kill. Right? And then that creates a skill expression where I can do something like this, slice the pie, and slowly include
Double
people.
kill.
Slowly include people in my ult.
The enemy has arrived.
Where it's like, okay, you guys are grouped up, but now I'm doing this little hemisphere shake.
Wow, 4 in a row.
Which is something you can do. It's part of the skill expression. It's part of like the mental you can do. It's something smart you can do, and it's something. I don't like aim-based characters because I can't aim and I need to practice it. But Psylocke would probably be the choice I go to because a Psylocke carry is a very good carry. If you have a good Psylocke player on your team, they are playing. They hold in themselves in such a niche environment where they're not fully committed to dive. Like they're not like full dive. Right? Psylocke can play both. Like, yeah, it's not a Spider-Man, it's not a fucking BP, right? Where instead of it being like, oh, dive and brawl like Magic is, because Magic is dive and brawl, you have dive and poke with Psylocke. Again, there's this concept
Here they
sphere
come now.
of dive, or there's this concept sphere of gameplay style, and then you just grab different branches and you combine them to create a character. Where Magic is, I want to be able to brawl, I want to be able to dive, right? Iron Fist is, I want to be able to brawl and I want to be able to like anti-tank and I want a little bit of peeling, right? Because he can heal his backline with Luna. He has good like CC push ability. He has a block for negating damage, right? He can stay in the fight long. He can be anti-tank, right? He can disrupt the front line, right? Cool, right? And then it's like, I just only want to dive, BP, right? I want to dive, but I want to have good movement, and I also want to be able to like displace Spider-Man. I want to dive, but I also want a really good ult, and I want a gun, which is Star-Lord. And you're like, okay, what's the difference between Star-Lord and Psylocke? Well, Psylocke is far more dive oriented with her kits, where she can poke, but she's far more dive oriented with her kits, and her ults only is like manageable with like small sections of people, right? Where she's purely an assassin, while Star-Lord is like, fuck you, full stop, you all die, you all are going, you're all going. But Star-Lord is vulnerable during his ult, Psylocke isn't. Do you see the network that I'm making? Right, where there's reasons to pick each of these characters. If I wanted to constantly be a
enemy has
1v1
arrived.
like demon, Psylocke would be my answer over Star-Lord, because I can go,
Out of sight.
I'm not winning, or I can go and solo ult.
Double kill.
I can break their ankles.
3.
Right, you're much more an elusive, like stealthy playstyle with this character versus Star-Lord.
Wow.
And you're like, okay,
4 in a row.
all that's cool, but the fuck does that have to do with anything? They took a character who was fine in the section that they were at as this stealthy, like stealth/poke character, and then shifted her towards poke by nerfing her invisibility, which you would use to set up dives or retreat from dives, and then by effective like changing her damage. And it's like, okay, I get it. You want Psylocke to be good. She was already good. Why are you touching her? Why are you touching her? Like, I feel like anytime you get your ult on Psylocke, there's really no reason not to just do this.
And so your story ends.
There's no reason not to just fucking
Double
ult
kill.
someone. Just ult a single
Mind over
person.
matter.
There's not. Her ult is just generically good. Her ult is even allows you to go after flyers. Alright.
Double kill. That's 3.
They just keep falling.
And then there's team synergy, there's peeling synergy, there's things you can do with your ult. Other than like like every DPS has functionality for peeling. Even BP. It's just that like sometimes you gotta use your ult. If there is people like 2 divers in your backline, like a magic and an iron fist, popping your ult is a valid answer. But no Sonic's going to do that.
Did that hurt? Good.
No one's going to do that. And I think I'm the only one who has that idea to do that. Or I'm the only one who like I've seen ever do anything close to that. Right? And then Star-Lord is like a bland, generically good character. What other gameplay choices am I confused about? They buffed Namor, which I'm not too happy about, but like, hey, it doesn't really change his identity or like fix any of his weaknesses. Another character that they need to fucking buff is Black Widow, because why are you giving Black Widow drip like this just for her to be bad? Seriously, no. Like, honest question. What was the point of this skin? Just for her, I can't in good faith call her bad, and I promise I'll get to the BP stuff in a second. All this will actually help me explain how I feel about BP. Where
Plasma burst. Enemy down.
Double kill.
this move, this ult, is a symptom of like, it's a symptom of bad game design.
Wow, 4 in a row.
But it's also like a unique concoction of abilities, and I like those unique concoctions, right? I actually do
here they
like
come.
kits, because each ability influences how you play the character, right? It changes like the sum of its parts is, the sum of its parts is always greater than, how do you say it? Like the sum of the parts is always greater than the parts added together. Yeah, that's not how it's said at all, but like you get the concept, right? Like, when the effectiveness of like all of the abilities together is always greater than when you just look at each of the parts of it, like you know what I mean, like the whole piece together always is more creatively effective than all each individual parts, at least in my opinion, for most kits. At least that's how it should be, right? Spider-Man would not be the character he is if he couldn't fucking pull you. If he couldn't pull you, that character's dead. I'm being so serious. If they ever nerf Spider-Man's pull, the character's dead, and he's a hard character,
Bogies, here
so
they
no
come.
one's ever going to play him. And like, if you do see someone playing him, they're just gonna miss their old Spider-Man. So we never nerf Spider-Man, but we never buff him either. He's perfect where he is. We leave him where he's at.
Target
We struck
neutralized.
gold with Spider-Man. We struck gold with Hulk. We struck gold with several other characters. Like, that's the thing. There's so many characters where like we struck gold. Invis, we struck gold. Why are we iterating on her in such a massive way, like giving her a new ability? Why are we giving Luna a new ability? We've given these characters such cool things, right? Like Rocket already feels like he's pushing it, and because he's been fucking pushing it, they nerfed his like maneuverability on walls. Why? And then they buffed his gun. Why? His wall running was the cool fucking part. And it's like, dog, Black Widow has a 360-degree kick that leads into a
fight.
pull. So she's
Matter when
anti-dive
the
tank
best.
because they're the easiest to kick, right? And you can do damage to them, right? Why is her
Spy
sprint?
some bad guys.
Give her a fucking grappling hook. Why is her batons useless? No. Don't run away from me. Don't run away from me. Don't avoid this conversation. Whoever is at the
Widow's bite
fucking
is
office,
lethal.
why does Black Widow's baton do so little damage? If you 2.5 that hoe, that'd be used. If the batons were 3-hit kills, you would change it from Black Widow's playing back here to Black Widow's playing up here. And you'd be like, oh, that's too strong. Okay, don't 2.5 that hoe. 2.2 that hoe, alright? Double the damage, give a little something on top. You know what I'm saying? Like give him something to be excited about. Be like, oh, you're diving me? You're putting your hands on me? No. dead. No.
I spy some
And if you
bad
wanna
guys.
decrease it, right? And like I think since Black Widow in the movies is like a martial arts master, you need to have it where
Enemy down.
when I like first of all, there's like this weird effect where there's like actual bites. Like what is it called? Yeah, it's called Widow Bite. There should be fucking like there should be stats effects for Widow's like batons. I just don't get what they did for this character, why they looked at this character and went, hey, we have one of the most beloved female characters in the Marvel Universe. Let's give her a sniper and batons and make both those bitches lame. What do you mean both these bitches lame? I like sniper characters. I like zoom in effects. Why is it that she cannot one tap to the head, but it is a fuck ton of damage? Cool. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think not one tapping is a problem. Cool. No, I'm recording a stream right now.
I spy some bad guys.
Can you hear me? Alright, let me finish. So, like, Black Widow's kit is interesting because her ult gives damage vulnerability. The entire field slows objectively. Like, no brain dead, I farm Star-Lord ult, I just pop it, we either win or lose. None of that bullshit. You have to think about the way you're using it. But it's also strong because from around the fucking corner, you don't actually have to hit them because it's AoE. So they die. So if you hit them with a single shot into your ult,
Target
they die.
neutralized.
And also, since you have a 360-degree one-shot combo,
Widow's fight.
right? That means even on like people who survive your one-shot combo, you can immediately pop your ult and kill them. So when you have your ult, you have an instant way of getting a free kill off your kick alone. You know what I mean? Like that's objectively strong. That's objectively strong. But why does she have batons that I literally have no use for? It's better to take the chance of hitting the sniper shots and getting a body shot with the sniper than it would be to ever pull out the batons. You need to 2.5 the damage of the batons or 2.2 it and then give a status effect on that is called Widow's Bites. The fucking batons is called Widow's Bite baton. What's the fucking point? Why call it Widow's Bite? Why call it Widow's Bite? Give me a status effect CC, right? Give me a CC that causes paralysis after you get hit enough times with this fucking like
Target
baton,
neutralized.
right? Or time release poison. Like if you made it that instead of going for the sniper shot, I can choose to hit them twice with the baton or 3 times with the baton, and they would be poisoned, and they would try to run away. And they would just take the
Spice
extra
some bad
damage.
guys.
Now I'm anti-Venom. Because when Venom slams down and he's one shot and he's about to leave, I hit him with the baton 3 times after my one-shot combo, and he just fucking leaves. And then he dies midair. So now Venom has to think, there's a Black Widow on their team. Do I really dive her? Do I really dive if Black Widow's there permanently gatekeeping my exit? Because she stops me from leaving and or she poisons me. You know what I mean? Or why does her batons not give guaranteed damage vulnerability if I can swap instantly from the baton to my sniper? In fact, you should be able to swap into a shot instantly.
That's 3.
You should. There should be an instant swap. And then, like, if you need 3 hits into, like, give the 3rd hit, like, a knockback. Like, something! Give her fucking something! Give her something. That's my major point. I just don't get how you fail. Because I really am interested in this character. But I don't get how you fail to give this character anything
I spy some bad
when
guys.
it's fucking free. There should be a martial arts like fighting system with the batons where she does a bunch of different kicks and has evasive moves. If you gave the fucking sniper character, even like you don't care about balance. Who are we kidding? Hela has a stun, Phoenix has a stun, Phoenix can heal herself, she can break shit, right? Bucky has a one-shot combo. You don't give a fuck about
Widow's Bite
balance.
is lethal.
You need to make this character feel cool. Because at the end of the day, if a character doesn't feel cool in the hero shooter, no one's gonna fucking play it and no one cares about it. So if you need to, make it that make it have like a block mechanic where you can press block, where you can weave a shot into like a guaranteed like grapple stun that can only be done once when you have the batons out every like 10 seconds. Because you're not going to be dived more than 10 seconds. Alright, like make it 15 so you have to like really use it. Right? And then after that, if you do the parry perfectly,
Bogies, here they
right,
come.
you get a cool animation into a grapple, right, where they get knocked down into a debuff and or paralysis style, like some form of CC. And then that way, it would be okay if you got rid of the fucking omnidirectional one-shot combo. Because that's bullshit,
Neutralized.
right? Or you could add a mechanic where Widow's bite, poison, it could fucking poison them, right? Why does her sprint have a fucking meter? Give her a grappling hook so she can swing around, reposition. And you're like, oh, but then she'd be a Widowmaker clone. She already is a fucking Widowmaker clone, except she's less cool. Because Widowmaker has has a fucking SMG. Either give us twin pistols, or buff these batons, or do all three. Give us twin pistols, or the thing is, make her sniper the pistols, and then just have like a button that you can map, or have like a way to turn it back into the sniper, so you can shoot,
Here they come.
and then have the batons have
Enemy
a
down.
CC effect tied to the idea that it's called fucking Widow's Bite. Because why does Moon Knight's melee have a knock-up effect, but not Black Widow? Moon Knight. That nigga should never be anywhere near you. Moon Knight. It doesn't make any sense. But like, I'm just gonna move on. Because I spent too much time on him. Don't care about Square Girl. Wanda's fine. Magic's fine. Everybody else is fine. Everybody else's character design isn't fucking horrid. BP. The whole point of this video. I think we're finally in a place in time where power creep has happened enough that even if BP is running lower level lobbies, so is Daredevil, so is Elsa, so is Phoenix, so is Bucky, so is Namor, so is fucking Moon Knight, so is Mr. Fantastic, so is Squirrel Girl, Iron Man, but all those characters, you're like, oh, it's just a skill issue, get better. There's just a skill issue, get better. But for BP, it's like, oh, he's just moving too quickly. First of all, those are Smurfs. And I can go Smurf on Hela and run a lobby, and it'll be less fun than if I'm on BP Smurfing, and I get fucking randomly bumped by Just Fit and die, right? So at least I'm opening myself up to dying to stupid shit on BP, right? Secondly, Elsa Bloodstone's existence alone stops me from playing the game. Because if Elsa Bloodstone puts her invisible trap inside the middle of her team and tells her healers, stand right here, and then I dash at her healers, I get trapped and I insta-die. So that's just the truth. And she gets herself 40 bonus health per dash. The same thing you said BP couldn't have. You said BP having 40 bonus health per dash was a bad thing, right? So why can Elsa do it? And Elsa literally doesn't have to work for it at all. She actually doesn't. I have to at least hit my dashes, and if I miss, I die. And my ult ass. So here's the deal. You buff BP, you add another DPS or tank with like a trap feature, so they can put down a trap for BP and ensnare him, and he insta dies. So that way, when you ban Elsa, BP isn't fucking completely free, because I have to still play around Thing and the trap. Because let's face it, you're not gonna consider Namor a counter, you're not gonna consider Mr. Fantastic a counter, or Wanda, or any of the Bucky, any of the other thousands of characters who just stop me from doing what I want, right? You're not gonna consider any of those characters counters, and you're worried that bad players aren't gonna be able to play the game with a very countable character because they're fucking bad. So make it brain dead. Make it brain dead and make it obvious to anyone else with a gun that they can shoot and break the trap, right? But me, since I'm BP dashing, I won't be able to react to it because I'm moving too quickly. I get ensnared, I die. So now I have to like dash in, bait it like Thing bat. Like that's just the answer. I have to dash in and bait it like the Thing. And guess what? Now I get to go crazy when no one knows how to play that character. But the second anyone knows how to play that character, it's over. I have to swap. And then now low-level players have an easy brain-dead way of not getting ran over by a fucking BP unless they get baited, in which that's a skill issue. So then you have the excuse of going, yeah, you just used it wrong. So you don't have to like deal with people crying about BP. Because anytime it's a skill issue, because I can make the argument of like, hey, I understand BP is hard to react to, even for higher level people, right? But they just out heal him. And then low level people mismanage cooldowns. But when a fucking Iron Man ults, that's reactable. Cool. When a Hela 2-taps me, that's not reactable. And what do you tell a low level player then? Just take cover? Right? So we're fine with like Hawkeye 1-tapping people. What's the argument then? Just take cover? So we're fine with people Smurfing, because there are indeed Hawkeye Smurfs in lower level lobbies. Well, I guess it doesn't matter which Hawkeye is, he just one touches. But like, there is indeed Smurfs all over the place. It's just the only reason you see BP and Spider-Man in the low levels is because these are the two hardest DPSs in the game mechanically. And even when you finally get the skill to do shit mechanically in your own rank, there's so many things that stop you and get in the way that you don't get to enjoy the power fantasy of I'm hitting these multiple dashes because they just fucking fade it, they push me, Invisible Woman's barrier slows me, I get hit by Bucky, Namor solo ults me, they go Iron Man. Like, the power fantasy of playing this character is ruined in our rank because of the fact that there's so many ways to stop this character. So you could give us the power fantasy that we want by buffing this character in exchange for adding actual hard counters. I feel like this is the only character in the game, because it's a reaction test, that you can add a hard counter in the form of a trap or like a space on the ground that AoE sucks me in, like a vortex, right? That it wouldn't be that bad, but it has to be specific. Because the Elsa Bloodstone one, you guys did a good job in crafting something that stops BP uniquely and like hard stops him. But it's also bullshit because I can't see it or destroy it, which means it hard stops me. So that means you can buff me, right? You can buff the character. It's okay. NetEase, buff the character. Because you can't buff every single healer since the start of the game and nerf BP every single season. I've only received one buff. And I'm saying me because I'm taking this shit personally now. There's been several seasons. We've been through 6.5 seasons of straight nerfs when he's been the bottom character the entire time. At least Spider-Man gets help me out. At least Spider-Man gets team-ups. I get a fucking bubble. This gotta be racism. This gotta be. Why is Blade terrible? But I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not a Blade player. I'm not qualified to tell you if what you need to do for Blade. Just fucking buff BP. Do whatever you need to do. I don't even care about a rework. Just like either buff him, rework him so he's more uptime, make it so that like he gets his bonus health back, whatever. I don't fucking care. Just add a character, another character like Elsa Bloodstone, but not like her, just her fucking trap. So that way, when BP inevitably start banning Thing and Elsa, there's still another option. There's still another option to go no. And then make it skillful. Make the placement skillful. Don't make it like a vortex they can just use on anyone. Or I guess you could, because in this scenario they just save it for me and just make it like a long cooldown. You get the point. You get the point. All right. And again, I'm not too emotionally attached to the character. I just find it ridiculous that you guys like refuse to buff him. You refuse to buff him, but why did Phoenix get up 2 buffs before Black Panther? No. Actual solid question. Why did Phoenix ever get buffed before Black Panther? Why did Hawkeye get continuous buffs before Black Panther? Why did Hela? My nigga Squirrel Girl got buffs before Black. Nah, I'm done. This is done. This is done.